All right, example 4. This is in standard form. Really tough to do it by hand. In standard form, there's more stuff we got to do. All these can be done in the calculator, and I'll show that on the next video. But just quickly, how I did this by hand. So when it's in standard form, first thing we got to do is try to find the vertex, and to do that, we need to use our axis of symmetry equation, which is opposite b over 2 times a. Okay, and I'll just plug the numbers in from my standard form here, 2 times -1, and that ends up giving me a 5. So that's going to be this part of the vertex. Then I plug the 5 into my equation to figure out the other number. Okay, so remember f of x is y, so I'm going to put 5 into here. So I'm going to have negative 5 squared plus 10 times 5 minus 31. Okay, this is going to end up equaling -6. Okay, so there's my vertex. So I'm going to go ahead and graph that. 5, -6, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there it is. Okay, that's my vertex. Okay, now again, our graphing numbers here are a is equal to a -1. So graphing number is 1 through 5. Multiply it by whatever a equals to. So -1 times 1 is -1. 3 times -1 is -3. It just makes them all opposite. 5 times -1 is -5. Okay, so all that means is I'm just going to go down instead of up. So out 1, down 1 right there, out 1, down 1 on the other side. Then from that point, out 1 and down 3, which takes me here, out 1, down 3, takes me there. So this parabola is doing thing here. Next thing you got to remember with inequalities is our actual inequality. Okay, so what's that going to do is we need to look for the bar underneath, and that means if it has a bar, it's a solid parabola. If it doesn't have that bar underneath, it is a dotted parabola. So we're going to have a dotted parabola like this, which means all the points on this parabola are not a solution. Okay, so now after we've done graphed it, we need to get a test point and figure out, like that one for a test point, we need to figure out our shading, where we're going to shade. Okay, so remember, this is x, this is y. I'm going to plug that into the formula up here and get an answer. So -7 is greater than -5 squared plus 10 times 5, and then minus 31. So we actually did this calculation already up top, and if you work it out, we get -6. Is -7 greater than -6? Is not. This is also a false answer. Okay, so we need to shade outside of the parabola. All right, put some shade on there, so this will be all on the outside of the parabola. Of course, I could shade the whole grid, but there's no point. All right, so everything outside of there is a solution, but not the parabola itself. It is dotted.